you, Petrie and Liz, for coming forward. We'll just allow them to share with us their journey.
Thank you, Nikki, very much indeed. Hi, everybody. Good to see you again. It's been a long time, 4 months. Thank you for the welcome this morning. It's really, really great to be received. Thank you. Our theme for this testimony is God's miracles. It's only by the grace of God we are able to be here today. We have experienced God's miracles in so many ways over the past 4 months. We must give our mighty, all-loving God all the praise and glory for the way in which He has protected and healed both of us. A miracle.
I was the dedicated driver as we had celebrated Father's Day with our daughter Janice at her home. We were driving along Britkoppen in the direction of the Fourways Mall in anticipation of turning right into Kingfisher Drive. The robot was green and I waited for a number of cars to pass. Then the road was clear and we progressed to turn right. We were then T-boned by a speeding Porsche car racing another Porsche. I remember absolutely nothing of what happened.
There was a relation of Reverend Shona who saw the accident happen and phoned Shona and requested that she prays immediately, only to find out the next day that it was the Hamlyns who were involved. Another miracle. There was also a lady who we don't know who stopped and looked after us until the paramedics arrived. Another miracle. When Janice arrived at the accident scene, she immediately felt the presence of God and His angels, even through the chaos of flashing lights, paramedics. There was a sense of calm, and she saw a dim light enveloping the car, and knew that God was already at work. Another miracle. I had to be cut out of the car as my door was virtually on top of me. There were also 2 independent witnesses who saw the accident happen, who stopped and gave witness accounts to our daughter Janice. This would prove very important for the investigation to come. Another miracle.
I had a torn diaphragm, cracked pelvis and broken ribs. Because of my diaphragm being ruptured, some of the organs were sitting on my left shoulder. The attending doctor said I would not survive surgery because I was too weak. She stabilized me and made arrangements to have an operation early the next morning and requested Janice to be there. She had obviously thought things through overnight and in the morning decided to do keyhole surgery to remove all the organs that had shifted. What a miracle. I was in ICU for 2 days and then moved to the surgical ward.
I had x-rays only just to discover that my hip replacement prosthesis had been damaged at the ball joint, which resulted in having to put no pressure on my right leg at all. Most of my ribs were either cracked or broken. Evidently, I was in ICU for 7 days, during which time I suffered from terrible hallucinations. Evidently, this experience is suffered by many patients and is called ICU psychosis. Les was then transferred to Riverside Lodge Rehab Centre a week before I was. After the 3 weeks rest, I saw the orthopedic surgeon who again took x-rays to discover that the bone had started to grow over the hip joint. Another miracle. Being in rehab was a humbling experience, as our bodies are ostensibly healthy compared to folk who are really in a bad way. However, most folk were happy and sang their way through the gym time. And just as an aside, we had gym twice a day, from 9 to 10:30 in the morning, and then from 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon. So, we got our gym time in. The staff at Rehab Centre were fantastic. We had physios, occupational therapists, and biokineticists looking after us. Les and I were known as boyfriend and girlfriend. Is Lesley, eh? We had wonderful doctors looking after us. For example, Dr. Safisa, who is like a big teddy bear and very approachable. Another miracle.
One day, the book which I was reading was on my bed when Doctor arrived. The name of the book was Jewish Girl in Paris. So he asked me if I was Jewish. I said, no, I'm a Christian. He went on to say that he had been a reborn Christian, but he was now questioning. So I said, don't worry, I'll pray for you and we'll chat again. A week or so later, he was with Petrie and mentioned that us as a couple had shown faith and he had started to pray. A miracle. The staff in rehab could not believe how quickly we had healed. Another miracle.
Les was discharged after 4 weeks at rehab, and I a week later. The day that we left rehab, the staff lined up on both sides of the door and applauded as we came through. I said a few words of thanks to all the staff who had exhibited a great level of professionalism. When I was home, I had to be in a wheelchair for a few weeks before progressing to a walker. I had a follow-up with the orthopod who had x-rays taken again, which indicated that the bone had miraculously grown to the same size as the other side of the pelvis. The orthopod was amazed at how quickly I had healed. Miracle. Our physio comes to us every week to continue with the muscle building. She has also allowed me to put pressure on my right leg. I then graduated to crutches. Another miracle. I've been on crutches for a couple of weeks and I'm learning to walk again.
Whilst in rehab, I had a couple of amazing experiences. The first was when I saw a lady sitting next to my bed, dressed in white, looking after me day and night. She must have been an angel. The second experience was when I must have been dreaming one night and talking in my sleep. When the nurse came to see if I was okay, she asked what the problem was. I said, I'm dancing. I thought how wonderful it is to give praise and thanksgiving and dance before a mighty God, a miracle.
So you see, we do serve a mighty God of miracles. And we are so grateful to be back here today with you all to continue praising and worshiping. And we are waiting for God to reveal to us His bigger plan for us. Because we believe that He kept both Lesley and myself alive during that terrible accident in order to do His will here on earth. So if you all pray for that for us, we're truly grateful that the Lord may reveal to us His plan for us going forward. Before we close, we want to give thanks to the many people of St. Andrews for your prayers and support in many ways. And we know that a heck of a lot of you, if not all, were praying for us. We could feel it. Because not once did we feel despondent or down in any way. And we realized, because so many people love us and we appreciate that very much, that you were praying for us. The visits in hospital and then at home the number of people who brought meals to our whole family and our friends, thank you. To Nikki for her support, to Reverend Shona for giving us trauma counseling, and a special word of thanks to our daughter Janice, who started the prayer chains and kept everyone up to date. You are all very special to us, and we love you all. Thank you for listening to the way that God took us through this experience. Amen.
Thank you, Petrie and Les. We continue to give God all the praise, the glory, and honor. We have our notices.